In today's episode, I take a look at setups on Aussie JPY, the Mexican peso, an update on USD CAD, and setups on Swiss franc and CAD JPY. We also take a look at some of the best trades from our Discord trading room. Enjoy. Welcome guys to another weekly market review. I want to start us off by a chart submitted by FX Patriot, and that is the Aussie dollar JPY. And I have this chart on the screen here. And we had this first run on liquidity, which looked like a bit of a reach around pattern. It only slightly pierced it before we came down, but it looks like it's making another reach for that liquidity. And next week, if we do break a bit higher and we do get to that liquidity point, we'll be hunting for some reversal patterns. And if we find it, hopefully we can take it to the bottom of this range. You should find a very good reward ratio on this one, so definitely one that's worth taking, I believe. And yeah, let's see how this one works out. Thank you for this one, Matt. We'll definitely be watching it next week. All right, next up, a chart by Karabu, and that is on the Mexican peso. And this was a chart he submitted late on Friday, and he did update it. And this is his current view on the peso. But I'm just going to bring up my trading view. And just bringing up an 8-hour chart, we can see we got this clear level of resistance here that the market has been respecting, and we have broken through it, and now we're retesting that area. In our trading room, we did actually try to get long this market over here, but we missed it by a couple of points because the market did take this liquidity. Now, this is unfortunately, this is sort of at the area we want the reversal, and this isn't one I would really take during the first session on a Monday. So I'm going to leave this and see what it looks like during the US session on Monday. And if we did perhaps come down to take these lows, then I'll start waiting for a different pattern. But we'll definitely see how this one turns out. And if we do find that reversal pattern or entry pattern here during the US session, then I might look to take this long, at least for new highs. So again, one with a potential good reward ratio, so one worth watching. All right, so then an update on the USD CAD. We did discuss this one last week, and remember we were long at this area and we were looking to add to the longs to take this one higher. However, you got to be a bit flexible in your views. We did have quite a clear reversal pattern over here. This is one we actually also discussed last week on the CAC 40. We got this correction, the market shot up, had the distribution, and then it shot down, made the impulse down, and then the correction up. And this should be a clear sign that the market still wants to go down. I did share in my trading room that I actually ended up exiting over here, and this was still a bit of a 80 pip move, which was still about 6-to-1 reward ratio. So still a good trade, even though we didn't catch that bigger move. But I am still looking for the bigger move, and I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. And I'm on the 8-hour time frame here, and what's interesting to note is we did come down to take some big liquidity. We had our first reaction here of the 113 extension, and we're now at the 127 extension. So it is possible that we can get our reversal now, and I am looking for the move back up to this resistance level over here. So quite a big move. So if we find any sort of impulse and corrective pattern next week, that'll be my sign to go long on this market. There is another scenario that this might make a bit of a 3 drive. This is one shared by Red Star in our trading room. And this would actually also be a really nice potential entry, because once it's on this 3rd drive, it becomes a much higher probability, potentially down to this 141 extension. So these are the 2 scenarios that I'm looking at, but definitely still watching for the longs on this one and not looking to short this at this time. Now, lastly, I just want to run through 2 small flip zone setups. Now, these aren't going to be big swing setups, but potentially a little 2 or 3 hour trade for next week. The first one is on Swiss franc JPY. I'm on the weekly time frame here, and just to point out that we are at a big level of resistance. It is a little bit significant, but I don't think that much. I do think that we're just going to make a bit of a correction and continue higher, as this does look like a bit of a bottoming pattern to me. But we are at this resistance area, and there is some nice price action forming there right now. And just jumping to the 2-hour time frame, we do have a little bit of a flip zone setup here. It's not perfect, but potentially what we have here, we got the market finding resistance, trading above it, and then coming down. And perhaps next week, if you trade back into this, we can find just a little trade down to fill this void before potentially going higher. There's another one that's looking similar on the CAD JPY. And again, I'm not looking for any big swings here. It's just a little pattern that seems to be quite profitable. We got, again, the resistance, we got the trading above it, and then the big breakdown. If perhaps on this one we come back to this level, then maybe there's an opportunity for a little bit of a short. I'm not going to take both of them. They are both sort of similar setups on both yen pairs, but I'll watch both of them and see if maybe one of them I'll execute for a little bit of a flip zone trade. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. Please share your setups and views, and I'll see you all in the trading room. Cheers.